What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including is Vince McMahon returning to WWE, the real reason behind an AEW wrestler's release, a former champion officially announces his WWE exit, WWE cancelled Rusev's push, is The Rock teasing a WrestleMania 43 appearance, is there backstage heat on a new WWE star, a major return on Raw, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at, is Vince McMahon returning to WWE? Yeah, we know that this has been covered probably every so often, so we get it, but at least our top story looks at new speculation that the former WWE chairman Vince McMahon is returning to the company. Now, this speculation began yesterday after Logan Paul discussed McMahon on his podcast. The former WWE US champion and current Vision member firmly believes that McMahon is returning to WWE, and that McMahon will be inserted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And naturally, these comments from Logan have the wrestling world buzzing as fans are questioning if Logan has insider information or is just trying to generate clicks and headlines. Now, as far as we're aware, McMahon isn't returning to WWE in any capacity. If McMahon was going to return, he likely would have been part of John Cena's final match last month. But he wasn't, and all WWE did when it came to McMahon was feature him in a video package. The lawsuit between McMahon and Janelle Grant is still pending, and there's no way that WWE can bring McMahon back until this is firmly settled. Even when this is settled, bringing McMahon back in any capacity would be a controversial move, and would certainly lead to a lot of wrestlers and fans feeling uncomfortable. Next up, the real shocking reason behind an AEW wrestler being released. Trey Miguel is no longer in AEW after he was released last week, and this led to mass confusion amongst fans as Miguel only signed with the company just 2 weeks ago. Now, there had been rumors in relation to why Miguel was released, but now Fightful Select have offered a concise report explaining the reason why. It was confirmed to us that the word relayed to Miguel is that it was a decision above AEW, heavily implied to be a WBD decision. To be very specific, we were told that it was in relation to a post that Miguel made in 2020 that was homophobic in nature, for which he immediately apologized for. We were told that there were no additional posts or situations that were said to have factored into that reason provided outside of online speculation. Now, according to the report, the reaction inside AEW is one of frustration, and it's a case of the rules applying to Miguel but not to other talent. The reaction inside AEW was one of frustration, as Miguel and the Rascals have good relationships in the company. There were a good number of wrestlers who felt like there were standards applied to AEW talent that don't apply to other personalities who have appeared on WBD properties. There were countless examples provided of prominently featured WBD names that had made controversial comments and weren't thrown off the air or prevented from getting deals. Fightful did reach out to WBD for a statement on the matter, and one of them stated, "I can't speak to the validity of rumors, but I can say I agree with the decision if true. If it were an unhealthy pattern of behavior, that's cause for alarm, but that does not seem to be the case here." Now, Miguel has personally responded to the incident, and this is what he had to say via his X account, saying, "I've made a lot of mistakes in my time. I've always apologized and did my best to put a better foot forward after. I don't preach hate and I don't take any pride in being hateful. I'm a man of faith. I believe in forgiveness and only ever preach that. I'm a different man today." This is obviously a very complex situation, and WBD having the final say over talent is definitely an issue that could cause problems between the network and AEW down the line. What do you guys think? Was Trey Miguel's post just enough to be justified for a release? What about other talent who've also made mistakes in the past and are still on the roster? Next up, is there backstage heat on a new WWE star? Now, it was recently reported by PW Insider Elite that Vikingo is actually signed directly to WWE, and he's distinguished his deal from the rest of the AAA roster. However, things may not be off to a good start already, as there's been speculation that he has backstage heat. This all stems from AAA's January 17th, 2026 match between Vikingo and El Grande Americano. During the match, Americano had to break character to tell the referee and warn Vikingo about his neck before Vikingo delivers a kick. Grande even screamed "Chinga tu madre," which means "F your mother" in Spanish. And it seemed that El Grande, or Ludwig Kaiser as they say, was genuinely ticked off with this. However, even after rumors made the rounds, it seems that Hugo Savinovich has dismissed these rumors online. According to him, he spent nearly a full day checking the situation and found no real conflict. He explained that the context and cultural nuances were misunderstood, and what sounded aggressive in the clip wasn't intended that way. Savinovich reviewed footage, spoke with sources, and emphasized that nothing in the match or afterwards suggested any genuine bad blood between the two. He did point out that Americano is an experienced veteran who, if truly upset or unsafe, would have reacted more forcefully in the ring or signaled to the referee, even though he did. But instead the match continued normally and concluded without any stoppage. Savinovich also stressed that if a legitimate concern had arisen, AAA officials or creative would have intervened, yet no one was reprimanded or taken aside after the bout. The two even actually shared a hug after the match, further indicating there was no hard feelings for the stiffness in the ring. Next up, a major return on Raw. Could WWE be about to deliver a huge return just 5 days before the Rumble? Well, according to PW Insider Elite, pitches have been made to bring Chad Gable back onto WWE television on next week's Raw. There have been pitches related to Chad Gable returning to WWE programming for this Monday's Raw in Toronto, PWInsiderElite.com has learned. Gable has been working towards returning from his shoulder surgery last year. There were rumblings for a few weeks back that he was expected at Raw in NYC, but he was not in Brooklyn. And this is absolutely fantastic news, as Gable has been badly missed on WWE television. Some fans may question why WWE aren't even having Gable return at the Rumble itself, but the logic from WWE is that the Rumble is totally stacked. There are endless rumored returns, so maybe it makes more sense to have Gable return on the Raw before the PLE. Interestingly, it was also widely reported that Saturday night's main event was going to feature returns, as it was alleged that WWE are concerned about Rumble surprises leaking out due to the show taking place in Saudi Arabia. Therefore, we can't rule out the possibility of Gable returning this coming weekend. And whilst we're on the subject of Gable himself, Gable shared a video online that has his physique looking like a Triple H 2002 unit. Next up is The Rock teasing a WrestleMania appearance. And last week it was reported that Saudi Arabia is pushing to feature both Stone Cold and The Rock at WrestleMania next year. And now The Rock has addressed these reports directly, and when asked about his potential involvement in WrestleMania 43, this is what he had to say during an interview with Rafi Talks. Well, I can tell you that I'm excited for the brand of WrestleMania. I'm excited for the Kingdom because that is a big show. I'm also excited not only for the brand, but for our athletes to be able to participate in an event like this. That's a global event, and I can't wait. In terms of the conversations I've been having, good or bad, well, it's all good. It will always be good. Now, The Rock didn't outright deny that he would be working on the show, and he did confirm that conversations had been taking place. It was also reported last week that The Rock is uneasy about agreeing to wrestle at WrestleMania, and it's understandable why this is the case. The Rock is getting older and he has wider commitments outside of WWE. The final boss obviously wants to avoid injury at all costs, and the fact that he was seriously hurt in his last featured singles match back in 2013 is likely to play on his mind. If The Rock does agree to wrestle, then we can assume that he'll wrestle Roman Reigns, but this hasn't been confirmed by any credible sources at this stage. Next up, a former champion officially announces his WWE exit. Now it's now official, former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa is set to depart WWE. Ciampa confirmed via social media that his WWE contract is set to expire soon, and he thanked everyone for his time in the company. An excerpt which reads as follows: "In the very near future, my contract with WWE will officially come to an end. I'd like to thank every single person who contributed to the last 10 years of this incredible journey. Camera crew, ring crew, hair and makeup team, seamstresses, referees, creative producers, catering crew, commentators, ring announcers, travel department, medical team, talent reps, and anybody I may have missed. A very special thank you to all of the men and women who I've shared a ring and locker room with. Nothing but love and respect. And it would be remiss not to give a special thank you to my Black and Gold family. You will forever hold an incredibly special place in my heart. To the fans who have shown love and support over the last 2 decades, thank you from the bottom of my heart." Ciampa's statement was one of pure class, and it's clear that he's a beloved member of the WWE locker room. Ciampa did confirm that he's not retiring from pro wrestling, and he's now available for other projects. Next up, WWE cancelled Rusev's push. Now, as seen on WWE Unreal Season 2, Rusev was actually set for a major push in 2025. He was initially booked to be in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and he was even set to wrestle Jey Uso at SummerSlam in what could have been a match for the world title. In relation to why he's now suddenly off TV, PW Insider Elite are reporting that Rusev and other names are off TV to freshen them up. For those who have asked about Rusev and the Street Profits not being on TV of late, PWInsiderElite.com is told that it's just a decision to make sure talents who aren't in the primary mix at the moment aren't being wasted, so they can freshen up when they're back on TV with a new story, nothing more. Rusev is an interesting case, as he's definitely a name that has been going through the motions since returning to WWE, and the fans have struggled to connect with him in any capacity. Have WWE dropped the ball on him completely already? Next up, WWE are high on this star. WWE are actually reportedly high on Raw star Dragon Lee. According to the latest self-made sessions, WWE likes Lee a lot and they're keen to push him up the card. Yeah, they really want to keep him, and the office genuinely likes him a lot. It's interesting because right now they seem to like him more than Rey Fenix. They're really big on Dragon Lee at the moment, especially the Raw creative team. Now he's in the top mix, working with the Vision and all of that. And having Rey Mysterio connected to him, being Rey Mysterio's guy, definitely helps too. Now another name that WWE are high on currently is Roxanne Perez. PW Insider Elite reports that Perez received praise backstage for working the recent European tour whilst banged up. Next up is Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble. Speaking of the latest self-made session, an insight was offered when it came to who could be in the running to win the Women's Royal Rumble next weekend. According to the report, Liv Morgan is being pushed to win that match backstage, and the push would see her face Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania. There are people who think Liv Morgan should win the Royal Rumble and go straight into facing Stephanie McMahon, and that's absolutely in play. There have been high-level meetings over the last couple of weeks to hammer out some plans for WrestleMania. And Morgan is currently one of the favourites to win the match, joining the likes of the currently injured Bianca Belair. Now in relation to the men's matchup, the current favourites include Bron Breakker and Roman Reigns. Next up, the real reason why WWE scrapped a huge match. It's been heavily reported that the planned Roman Reigns vs Cody Rhodes Part 3 match for WrestleMania has been scrapped. In relation to why, the latest self-made session states that a creative situation couldn't be reached which would satisfy the names involved. What I can say right now is that Cody Rhodes vs Roman Reigns at WrestleMania is off. The match is not happening. They couldn't come to a creative situation that satisfied every single party involved. Both Rhodes and Reigns have a ton of political power backstage in WWE, so if both men aren't keen about the match taking place, then naturally it's not going to occur. It's unclear where this leaves both men for WrestleMania, but we may know more information after the Royal Rumble next weekend. And finally, Booker T shoots on a WWE star. Our final story today looks at last night's NXT as Booker T made some rather controversial comments. During Josh Briggs' entrance, Booker T randomly decided to go off on Briggs by claiming that Briggs could be part of the roster cuts after WrestleMania 42. Josh Briggs, like I say, this is a pivotal moment for this guy. WrestleMania is coming up and you know what happens after WrestleMania. People start getting cut around here. Now it's possible that Booker is working an angle here, or it's possible that Booker is reflecting the attitudes of WWE management live on air. Whatever the case, this is a weird line to say on commentary, as the WWE roster cuts are rarely addressed on the confines of WWE programming, and it's virtually unprecedented to hear them referenced on commentary. Just bizarre. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.